right. I think if you stand there, so go there and then look there. No, you'll just look down.
Okay.
We'll look at the camera. So, all right, Gabe Goche back here at the Southern Utah Hockey Report with Brad Edelberg from Summit Sticks. And again, at Dog Bowl 15, where we're not only promoting the game of hockey, we're also promoting new entrepreneurs and not changing the game, but just making it better and stepping into the equipment world. Brad has custom sticks and jerseys and apparel. So tell us about the sticks here. Right, so we got Summit Sticks. When did you start? How'd you come up with this concept?
Started in August 21, so it's going on 4 years now. Came up with it because I wanted good sticks for myself, and I didn't want to spend $350 on a good stick from Bauer or CCM. Decided to go straight to the manufacturer and just have them make them for me, and it kind of evolved from there. The price was right to still be able to sell them. I sell them at about half the price of what a Bauer goes for these days. So I'm trying to make good equipment more accessible to people who can't necessarily afford the $350 stick that's going to break in a couple months. And then the other added benefit that I kind of discovered was that we can do the custom graphics on them. So we've got this one from Coastal Carolina University. You can do any graphics you want on them. If you have a men's league team, if you have a youth team, you brand them directly for your team or organization. So
that's really cool. And so, as you mentioned, fully custom really changes nothing as far as the function of the stick.
Nope,
but
great sticks.
Yeah, like you said, they're coming from the factory. And so, for our hockey viewers that actually understand, tell us about the difference of the sticks, where the grams, the weight of them, the durability, that they match up with CCM and Bauer.
Yeah, sure. So I've got models ranging all the way from 325 grams, which is the lightest out there. There are a couple others that are around that weight, but lightest out there all the way down to 580 grams. Price depends on weight, so the more expensive ones are lighter, the less expensive ones are heavier. But it kind of makes it accessible for anyone, right? So if you don't really care that much about weight, you can go down a little. They're still great sticks. They're still made out of carbon fiber. You don't lose any performance on them. The durability is great. They last me a lot longer than a Bauer or CCM ever lasted me, I'll tell you that. I've had lots of people tell me the same thing. Yeah.
And it's not just player sticks, too. I see a goalie stick here, which is totally custom. So let's get that. And obviously, with the design, the logo, and the color scheme, right? You're from Colorado.
Yep.
And so, born and raised, everyone knows that the Colorado flag is blended into there with the colors. But
yeah, the logo's actually the Colorado C flipped upside down and make an S.
Awesome. So 2 C's make an S.
2 C's make an S.
I'm like,
do mini sticks too these days, custom mini sticks.
And with that too, Brad, you and I were talking about this before, and really when it comes into hockey and getting into the, I'm doing an interview. So
yeah,
you're good.
Come on. I just gave them a goalie stick.
Oh, nice.
For Porter.
For Porter, yeah. So I've known them Porter since he was just a young
cool.
pup, right? But speaking of young pups as kids, you also make some junior sticks, right? So,
yep, definitely.
So tell us about the junior sticks, the youth, and how do they differ from the adults?
Sure. So they're still made out of the same 18K carbon fiber. They're obviously a little skinnier, a little lighter because they're smaller, lower flex. Go all the way down to 20 flex in these, all the way up to 50 flex with still the junior shafts. You can pick, with any of my sticks, you can customize the height so you don't have to cut it and screw up the flex. Can pick with any of my sticks, you can customize the grip, the texture, the kick point, the curve, the flex, the height. I don't think I'm missing anything.
No, that's good. And so so with that, obviously the goal, like you mentioned, was to buy or have a quality stick that's going to be durable, that's going to be reliable, but then also not breaking the bank, right?
Yeah.
So tell us, Brad, like what is the price point for these? Like, what are we looking at here
Sure.
at retail?
So my price point, my top of the line 325 gram stick is $200,
Okay.
which a comparable Bauer you're looking at 375, 400,
Yeah.
something in that range. So about half the price of Bauer. My heaviest of the carbon fiber sticks is 420 grams, and that one right now is 140. So it's pretty reasonable if even if you're not a elite player, you're not looking for an elite stick, you can still get a great stick at a good price.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, and of course the added benefit that you don't have to advertise for Bauer. You don't have to pay them $400 to also use a Bauer stick that says Bauer on it and advertise for them. You can design it for your own. You can make your own custom stick with your name on it if you want.
Yeah, and speaking of that too, like I'm gonna pull the Dog Nation,
Yeah, definitely.
right? So as we have here, right, you can see Dog Nation on there, and then the logo is the dog. But another thing I like too, and you and I were talking about it, is just the concept of going full custom, or like that Coastal Carolina stick. If we show it here, like right near the blade, we see that logo. This would be a great opportunity for youth associations or junior associations to get sponsors, right? So then those sponsors can now put their logo on the blade as well too, right? So that would be a great opportunity.
Gives you more sponsorship inventory to sell.
Yeah.
We also, this is a kind of a cool thing. So you saw the Dog Nation one.
Yeah.
This is another color Dog Nation, and then we've got the wood look underneath.
That's sweet.
So any of our sticks, you can do the graphics, and then you can also customize the base color. So this one's got wood look.
Yep.
This one has like a white base.
White out.
So you could do this with a pink base or a purple base or a blue base. So it kind of adds to the customizability. So, if you have a big organization, every kid doesn't have to have the exact same stick. They can customize some of the stuff too.
Exactly. And that's another thing too, is like as you get custom, you can also get creative, with what you're doing. And as you mentioned, pink, right? So you can do breast cancer awareness, right?
Sure.
And when you do Pink the Rink, that's where like pro organizations can essentially order a bundle of sticks from you that are all pink, right? And then either give them away to fans or auction them off.
Absolutely.
Which would be another great thing too. So with that, like, what's the lead time look like from the time that we get all of the ordering done? We're like, hey, this is the stick we want to buy. This is the stick we want to order. How long's the lead time?
So the lead time's about 10 to 12 weeks, especially for a new order. We also do have the ability to where if we have a large organization that we know we're going to buy a lot of sticks, we can stock the wraps or stock the actual sticks themselves so that we don't have to wait for the turnaround time on the next time around. And, if someone breaks one, I might have one in stock that they can come buy immediately.
Yes.
So they take a little while, but custom high quality gear takes time for sure.
It sure does. And that's like the thing with any. So I was a former hockey director, as most of you listeners know or watchers know. And there's three things, right? Like you want good quality, you want it fast, and you want it cheap. Well, you're not going to have all three things work for you, right? So you can have good quality and you can have it fast, but it's not going to be cheap, right? Or you can get it cheap and you can get it fast, but it's not going to be good quality. Do you see? Is it kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you like that analogy?
I do like that analogy. Yeah. I mean, I'm working on trying to have all of those come true to where I can make them a lot quicker. I've decreased the time a little bit, but still working on decreasing it more. I'd like to get it under a month eventually.
Yep.
Which we might get there.
So, how do we find you? Like, how do people, say in Cedar City or Salt Lake, like, or even back east, like, how do we find more about Summit Hockey Sticks?
Sure, yeah. SummitCustomSticks.com is my website. You can go on there. You can order custom sticks. You can email me about custom graphics. You can actually build the stick on the site yourself if you want. One of the graphics packages that we already have, they're all on there. You can pick your base color. You can do all that good stuff. We also do custom curve molds. If you ever have like we have 11 different curves, but if you have a curve that you really want, that you've used, you found a pro stock curve or something that you really like, we do also have the ability to make those custom curves.
I used to use the old Lidstrom curve with the toe blade.
We've got that.
Yeah.
That's one of our curves.
So
no, maybe is that the one?
No.
One of them out here had a Lidstrom curve. I'm not sure where it's at.
Cool. So how long have you been in business?
About 4 years, going on 4 years now.
Nice.
Been doing it as my primary business for about 3.5. I was a senior corporate financial analyst and didn't love it, and always wanted to get into hockey as a business because grew up playing hockey and can't seem to get away from it. So kind of accomplished my dream.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then I found out we're going to be playing against each other tomorrow.
Yeah.
So are you a firefighter or
No.
just made the jerseys for them, right?
Well, random story. The guy who runs the team is actually my son's t-ball coach, and we got to talking and figured out that I made the jerseys for his team, and we kind of knew each other, and one thing led to another, and he invited me to play with them. So
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, Brad Edelberg, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thanks, Gabe.
Absolutely. And for our viewers, again, and more importantly,
Summit Custom.
Sorry.
Not Swift.
Swift, not us. Like Swift, but better.
Like Swift, but better. Exactly.
Like Swift, but better. Summit hockey sticks. I can edit that out.
It's all good.
Well, everyone, thanks for watching the Southern Utah Hockey Report. I'm Gabe Goche. See you at the rink.
Cheers. Cool.